All right, is this thing on? Is it on? Do I be louder? Can I have everyone's attention, please? Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? All right. Welcome to 2 Boston, 2 Parity. Yeah, was there? I cannot believe we finally made it. It has felt like such a long
last year too.
Yeah, we're only like 30 minutes behind schedule instead of, what was it, 2 hours last time? A lot more. Yeah. Today is a joyous day because we have gathered here some of the best Tetris players in the world. And Aaron. All right, it's Boston. This tournament has always been like a personal passion project of mine, and I take a great deal of pride in it. Not just because like I get to provide this wonderful experience for everybody, but because I can also put everyone through the worst possible tournament ideas imaginable. Because this is my opportunity to try out things that nobody else has even thought to try, that nobody else would even dream of trying, and that is what we are doing here. And it has led to an abomination that is perhaps the most complicated tournament rule set in all of existence. I can summarize it in 2 words: speed hack counterpicks. You know, in order to understand this, you need to know what the speed hack is and what counterpicks are. I will now attempt to explain these rules to the best of my ability because I don't think the competitors know them either. Especially because I changed some of them at 4 a.m. like when I was finishing work for this freaking tournament. So I said speed hack counterpicks. So let's take a look at the first word. What is the speed hack? Thank you for that smooth transition. This is a ROM hack that I made 2 years ago. All right, and what it does is change the frame rates of the game. Now, what does that mean? I'm sure all of you have watched a video on YouTube before, and I'm sure, especially if you're studying, you might take the speed and like maybe increase it by like 1.5 or 2 or more. That is what the speed hack does. It takes some multiplier and it multiplies the game by it, and the game magically becomes faster. So you make that multiplier 2, you're running the game at 120 hertz instead of the normal 60 hertz. You can make that multiplier 1/2 to make the game twice as slow. You can make it 2/3. You can make it, I think, 6/5. There are a lot of different options, and all of them are made possible by this ROM, except for 10. What makes it really interesting, though, is that we also change the rate at which the controller is pulled, meaning we can make it faster and slower. And if a controller is like read more frequently, that means that it can understand faster speeds. So what this does is this effectively lets people roll faster than this 30 hertz limit that people have spent years training to optimize. On the other hand, we can also lower the speed, lower this frame rates. We see that there's a bunch of things all the way down to 30 hertz. And we can make it harder to roll, meaning that people have to be more precise with their inputs for less speed. All right, and as you can see, there's this like big Boston word on top of that. That's because I changed the title screen for this tournament, along with a number of other features that lead into the way that we are using the speed hack, because we have to make it interesting somehow. So let's take a look at the match rules, and I hope they are up to date. Oh my God, I did update them. All right, great. So by this point, we are now getting into the counterpick section of speed hack counterpicks. So counterpicking is when both players are sort of like competing against each other before the match even starts by determining the rules of the playing field that they will be playing on. So how are we going to do this? So there are 2 main parameters that we consider, one of which is the speed or the rate, which is like this effective like frame rate of the game. So this is a number like 60 hertz for the normal NES Tetris, 30 hertz if you want it half as fast, 90 hertz if you want it like 100% faster. You get the idea. So at the start, players will flip a coin, play rock, paper, scissors, some method to randomly decide who gets to go first. All right, and then the first player will pick a speed, or a rate, as I say. So this will be some number like 72 hertz, and then the second player will pick a valid level. So we support all levels, from level 0 to level 29. Most tournaments support 1, level 18. So already this is what, like 18 possible different speeds in my thing and 30 possible levels. So that's what, 540 theoretical combinations. You can see how there may be an avenue to some new possibilities, and we'll talk about them a bit later. All right, afterwards, I recognize that this is like an extremely foreign atmosphere for most people, so I want to give both players a minute to practice, get acclimated to the conditions that that they have been given. After that minute, they'll enter the same seed, they'll play Tetris. All of this is normal. And then there will be a winner. Highest score wins. All right, so yeah, basically this is the core of the core of the rule set. Basically, one player picks the speed, another player picks. There's still 14 options, so it's like, yes. All right. Are we back? Oh, I see. Okay. Stream. Are we good? Chat. All right. So hopefully you can read. Hopefully all this makes sense. And what's most important is that players know what's going on, and the commentators will be doing their best to try and reinforce what's going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at what speeds are valid and what speeds are invalid. So if we go to the next slide, we'll see this table that I have constructed, which I'm sure makes sense. So yeah, we've tried to make the faster speeds a little more approachable because they're a bit hard. Yeah, and we have some we have more rules. Yeah. because it turns out that like some of these combinations still aren't broken. So some of them will transition immediately. Think about like faster masters, and that is if the game is like 30 to 40 hertz, because those are very slow. And we also have a line cap. The line cap is unique to this mode. It basically like sort of increases the frame rates with every level. And the place at which this happens depends on where you start at. If you start on most of the levels, you get level 34. There are certain cases described up there where you start on level 30, and all of this will be communicated in the ROM and visible on the stream layouts. And you will see an example of that too. So I want to close by talking a bit about the strategy for this game, because it turns out that this is a mode where every playstyle is optimal given the certain conditions. So if we go to this slide, let's take a look. All right, first DAS. Who here likes DAS? Right. All right. Who here plays DAS in competitive Tetris and wins? Yeah, well, the problem, of course, is that DAS is slow, but what if you made the game faster? Then the DAS becomes faster too. All right, fast enough to where it's a bit harder to control, but it can keep up with the faster playstyles and maybe even have the advantage in terms of control. All right, so DAS players are going to maybe be wanting to target things like 72 hertz to 90 hertz and pick levels that are more comfortable for them. All right, on the other hand, all right, who here is a tapper? Who here likes tap? Well, it turns out there's a very particular mode in which tap excels. All right, and that's where you have like really annoying slow speeds. All right, so what happens is that at 30 hertz, at a 30 hertz frame rates, the fastest you can possibly input is like around 15 hertz. And getting like 15 hertz or lower is actually really, really hard for roll. And DAS is also made much slower in these situations too. So with tap, you are able to get the most amount of speed with the best amount of control. And maybe we'll be seeing some grip switches with this playstyle. Finally, there's roll. Who here likes roll? We're seeing some really mixed opinions. Well, it's good for everything else, pretty much. All right, it's even good. I suppose I should talk about the extreme speeds. 360 hertz is interesting. You know how it like takes like 16 frames, that's like a quarter of a second, in order for the piece to like start repeating after you initially press it? When the game's 6 times as fast, this is like 2.5 frames instead. So you have to put some really precise inputs, and roll especially is really good at getting those 1 or 2 frame inputs. It's also just good for everything. It's just the best playstyle. But on the other hand, it really suffers on the slow speeds, and it really suffers. It's maybe harder to control on like on those like medium fast speeds like 72 hertz or 90 hertz. So we might be even seeing some hybrid approaches depending on how the competitors are feeling, trying out multiple playstyles depending on which one is best suited for the speed. All right, there's a lot of complexity. I think it's best demonstrated within examples. So let's get to that. So if you'll give us 5 minutes for setup, we'll get the first 2 sets of matches up right now. Thank you. Okay, so again, Cold Bucket, Hazel, Shake, and Weston come up. Right, so Cold will sit here, Hazel will sit here, I believe Shake is here, and Weston all the way at the edge. We will need 2 judges, so we will need. Yeah, but we'll need 2 chairs for here. I saw Mark. Did you want to volunteer for the first batch? Right, this will be the last hour. No, not Weston. And all right, so we have Mars bring the shirt with you, and we have 1 more judge position open. And I hear Cobra. All right, and sometimes I should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to be ordering Domino's, and in the interest of like limiting this to people. for competitors and people who help out. So if you would like to, and I appreciate that. All right. So we have this table which will be used for watching the matches, and we also have a side room over there. There will be one station that is primarily intended for people whose matches are going to be stewed. So, so there are two CRTs on the edge. They are equipped with speed hack, with the original speed hack in the Boston tournaments itself to get practice. And there are two ABSs in the center. They can be used for sort of free-for-all play. All right, I will ask for one person just to generally supervise, make sure that everyone is getting their first where he wants them. So you'll be there now, and there will be a stream on the projector of this event right now. I'm going to go set them up. I will be right back, and I'll be yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So the deep one is better.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, it's not your commentating?
No, it's me.
Oh. Oh. Is there an order for commentary? Or anything?
What's that?
Is there an order for commentary?
Yeah, so the sheet.
Oh.
You and Timmy are like the 130.
Okay.
Like the fast. The second.
Maybe I should have signed up for comments.
Hello there.
Hello, hello.
Oh, can we? Is it possible for us to see chat?
Can you give them that?
Oh no, I'll pull the stream on my phone.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so yes, apologies for the delays. This is a Tetris tournament after all.
Wouldn't be a Tetris tournament if we were on time.
Okay. All right, so if you give us a second, we are attempting to.
You need to speak into the microphone.
We are attempting to pull up chat. So let's go to twitch.tv/classic Tetris.
Or do you want the video?
Oh yeah. Actually, that'd be great.
Look at Carbonics Discord.
Here, could you? Here, I'll just send that to you. All right, so yeah, we see the players warming up. All right, and yeah, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at this visuals. It's very similar to what we had last year, but you can see, I imagine, one notable difference. And what might that be?
There are hertz counters on the screen. You can see what hertz the players are playing at, right above the level counter. That's one of the differences, anyway.
It's one of the differences, yeah. So, for example, Shake is playing at 72 hertz. So, like, this is like a universe in which like CRTs ran at like 72 frames per second.
It's sort of like the opposite of PAL, one could say.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. So, as was stated by like the idiot who started this tournament in the first place, they will be using a counterpick system to pick what levels they start on when they're ready. They're warming up right now.
Yeah, so excited to see the matches get started. Oh, that's us. Hello.
Oh my god.
Yes. Hello, Caleb, as well. But yeah, we're about to get started. Very excited to be back, be actually helping out this year. Being on comms again, it's a lot of fun. Thanks to Fractal for setting all this up.
Where is it? And thanks to my co-commentator Lucy for pulling through on a lot of the automation that you'll see. So one of the commands that either exists or that we will be adding very soon is !master, which will take you to a master spreadsheet that's maybe somebody in the crowd can post a link to. And it'll have the information for just about everything that you can ask for.
Yep, and it hopefully should be automated. So assuming I didn't do anything wrong, that means all the brackets will be updated as soon as the matches are entered. And then you'll also notice a bit of info about our Anarchy tournament, which we're still figuring out what's going on with all the signups and stuff, since all those have to happen in person. But yeah, the bracket will be automatically set up as soon as signups are done.
All right, so I think for now we are going to ask that players wrap up their warm-ups and begin their bands. So this very first stage of this rule set is sort of like an equalizing force, all right? Players can identify levels that they might feel uncomfortable with and choose to ignore them. So
yeah, so if you're facing against the tapper, maybe it'd be wise to ban some of the lower speeds because that's where the tappers excel. If you're facing a DAS player who's comfortable with those higher DAS speeds, might be wise to ban some of the higher ranges, like maybe those 150, 180 type of speeds. But many different strategies. We'll see what the players come up with.
Yeah. So yeah, regrettably, since this rule was thought of yesterday, we don't really have a great way of showing any of this on stream, so we'll just have to judge this by the way the games play out.
Also, yeah, to answer chat, the quals were entirely online, so those are all done. Bracket was set it was finished up last night. We had people qualifying over time, but as usual for Tetris players, it ended up going until the last minute. But we got it all figured out, and the matches should be all ready to start as soon as we are ready here.
Yeah, and remember that players do get a minute of time to practice with the settings, practice with whatever settings they like, so... Huh? Yeah, that's great. Are you just gonna start?
Are we starting or? Okay.
Do you guys have fans? Yes.
Okay, band. What two do you want band?
360.
360. All right.
60.
All right. So we have some interesting bands on the lower half.
Okay. Do you have a point?
Huh?
Just
rock paper scissors.
Pick a ski. Pick any.
Okay, we will be playing 72 Hertz for the first game of the Weston Shake match. And Shake, what level start do you want? 17 start.
Yes. All right, and we can take a look. So generate a random seed. We can see that there is going to be a normal transition and that there's going to be a line cap at level 34. That's what the that is what the numbers on the sides of each board means. So we have, and it looks like we're going to have a conventional match up top. So yeah. So that is 60 Hertz level 18. They're going to take their minute to warm up. So we have a bit of an interesting contrast. So on the top, we see like just about the most standard match you could have imaginable. And at the bottom, we actually have that kind of matchup impossible because 60 Hertz was banned.
Yeah, so we have a 72 Hertz, essentially 18 start match, just with a little bit less scoring on the 18 speed. So it'll be interesting to see how the change from 17 to 18 plays out. It just means less scoring potential in general on the 18 speeds, and then everything else will be exactly the same with the speeds.
Yes. All right, and just a reminder, this is the practice phase. They are not competing right now. They are acclimating to this new speed. It's very ever so slightly faster. If you're going on autopilot for some of these timings, you might find that you're misdropping pieces that you don't think you should.
Yeah, and then up top, it's just super standard timing. Got to start it off with a nice normal matchup there, and we'll see how these players end up doing. That one is definitely the larger seed gap, so we'll see if it shows, but should be an entertaining match regardless.
All right, so yeah, it looks like the warm-ups are done, so we are going to have simultaneous starts. All right, we'll wait for the seeds to match up. It looks like they have at the top, so EVACEF, that is a seed.
All letters seed. Chance of that is a little over 1 in 1,000.
Oh, where did I put my phone?
Hang on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, everyone ready?
Can you start commentary? I'm going to start this one.
Okay, let's get them counted down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
The obligatory Buko's coming out by this point.
Of course.
Oh, we see a double flip from Weston. That was intentional. Okay, I'm hoping it was intentional because I actually put in code to like try and prevent double flips. So if it doesn't work, then I'll be very sad. Huh? Just two. Just like what 60 Hertz the announcement look like.
Starting off with Tetris is up top, but now both players are burning. Down the bottom, it's a bit harder to understand these numbers because they're not the nice multiples of 22,800 that we're used to. But both players with 2 Tetrises so far. Still around the same approximate scoring potential. But yeah, Shake was up a bit high, burns it down. Weston also in a little bit of a situation, but looks like he's going to be able to get this down as well. Cole is ready for scoring, and Hazel is almost Tetris ready as well, building 1 row off the bottom. Tetris for Cole. Hi, Cole. Hi, Hazel as well. Tetris for Shake. So far, we've got some pretty solid games. 76,000 through 23 lines, now 77 through 24 for Cole. 85,000 through 29 for Hazel. Shake is at 98,000 through 30, now 33 lines, 99,000. Weston also still burning up top, 81,000 through 34. Yeah. So not the best phase we've ever seen, but looking good and solid, not in any danger of topping out.
Yeah. And it looks like Shake is bringing this down. Honestly, I'm beginning to regret letting people choose level 17 because now we have to spend more time figuring out what this is doing.
And we also have to look at these colors. I'm not a fan of level 17 colors.
Yeah, interesting choice. Maybe this was Weston's strategy to throw off his opponents.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Weston picked the speed.
Oh, the Weston picked the speed. Maybe this is Shake's strategy to throw off his opponents.
But yeah, both players, or all four players, continuing to score. Right now, Cole's the one with the best pace. He's the highest seed, so somewhat to be expected. But on these formats, anything can happen. You never know. I don't even know if there are favorites in the tournament in general. Maybe one could say like the people who play all the different play styles, like the Kristaps and Memes, who have trifecta 1.3, so 1.3 in all play styles. But really, anyone could take it away if they end up getting good picks.
One interesting thing, you can sort of already see that there is a difference, very slight difference in speed, both Shake and Weston at around that 70 line mark. But as I say that, Hazel is dangerously high and she will top out, and the 57 lines that she runs to will not increase. But already there is a bit of a difference in speed because the bottom was going faster. So Cole will take the first game, and the first hearts will go to the side of Cole Buckets. And I actually added a little something that should make this pretty instant. There is a bit of a situation for Shake now. He will want to get something to the left. That is tough. That is impossible.
And that is a top out from Shake at 268. And Weston needs 269 on the ton. One more Tetris will do it. Taking the burns. And there's the bar for the Tetris.
And Weston, the I believe 13-year-old Vietnam. Oh my God! Why do people young?
Why do people young? That's a great question. Okay.
Yes.
The loser gets to pick 3.
Yes, and it looks like
90, so what level do you want?
all right. Remember that the same level cannot be picked twice in a row, so
Twice in the match.
or twice in the match at all. So you will have to go. You can pick something. Oh, it looks like they're going with 17.
17 up top, 75 hertz.
Yes.
Oh, 16. They gotta be quirky.
Yes.
That's fun.
All right. Do you guys want your minute to practice, or are you okay with just going? All right.
Minute?
Are you just gonna go?
I've never played 90 hertz in my life.
Okay,
Well,
Good luck.
Take a minute. Go.
Take a minute if you want.
Your minute starts now.
Yes.
So yeah, players are warming up again, getting used to these new speeds.
Yeah.
Because of the wide variety of speed options to choose from, every selection is really a
Yeah.
new thing to practice for.
So
So
take a minute to reflect on the previous match. So I'm interested in Shake's top out. I wonder how much of that was actually due to the 72 hertz.
yeah, it does make it that little bit harder to dig. As a roller, timings are very precise. So that's what you need to look at.
Right. And I'm wondering if he's somewhat expected to be able to get out of this without any issue because he's used to being able to get out of digs similar to that heights and then was surprised. Yeah.
Is it increment?
No, they just random seed. Yeah. He might be used to getting digs out of that heights and got a bit spooked by the timing. Okay. Looks like the minutes are up. And we're about to get to our second game.
Yep. So let's have the players roll the seeds.
Right, you see?
Looks like Shake is a seed ready. Oh, Weston at the time.
Yes.
And up top, we're also getting a seed there. So we'll be ready to start in a second.
Yeah, we got level 13 starts. How often do you see this at regionals?
Exactly. We got the 13, 18, we got 18. We're really going to hit all the levels.
Right. But on the other hand, I believe this is what divided by 3 multiplied by 2 or divided by 2 multiplied by 3.
This is 1.5 times as fast. So
1.5
what that
times
means
as fast.
is normal 18 will play like, 18 on this speed will play like.
Well,
9
we'll
speed at
just
the bottom.
eyeball it, and
But
for
yeah.
now we'll count them down again. We can all do it at once. Hope you will all join me in saying 3, 2, 1.
Tetris.
All right. So
In
Once-
most of our matches, we've had different openers for both players.
oh my God. We see that Weston is a follower of the fundamentals, not only building up the left, but also creating the double well. And it pays off for the Tetris.
Good safe play from him.
Yes.
Cole with not a bit, unfortunately,
Very
but looks to be able to resolve that soon.
yes. Yes, and in the meantime, Hazel has used this opportunity, has stayed clean. I believe that is a perfect score.
I do think so as well, but
Which we have
again,
now
these numbers
changed.
are very hard to get used to.
Yes.
Good safety burn though.
Yeah. So before we started the matches, I asked if the competitors. Oh.
What a 5-tap from Hazel, and the 4-tap from the Tetris. Wonderfully dug.
It looks to be a bit faster than normal level 18, but a bit slower than normal level 19. So nice in the middle, difficult tap regardless. Really good in Hazel to pull it through.
So for a score check, we've got 91k for Cole through 30 lines, 147 for Hazel through 34. So Hazel's taking the lead this time. Triple there for Shake brings him to 55,000. Bit of a struggle game for him. He's been digging a lot. Weston gets the Tetris to go up to 123 through 37 lines.
Yeah. So before the tournament officially started, I asked the competitors if they would be willing to share a few fun facts and maybe messages to be used during commentary. And I see here during Weston and during the anything else we should mention section, he said, please let me commentate Cole versus Hazel. It would be really cool. That's...
Unfortunately, we do not approve of self-restreaming at the Boston Tea Parity
On the
Regional.
other hand, nothing's stopping him, but maybe Shake is in the process of stopping himself. It all depends on this bar. He'll have to wait a little longer.
Bar dependent again.
Order's getting higher. There are more bar dependencies.
See? That's what's awesome. Weston looking for one more Tetris to really rub it in, but
yeah, 100,000.
And we have a best of 3, so that's the set as well.
All right, congratulations to Weston for advancing. Actually,
Do you want it?
do you want it?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if we could switch to the top players, the scene at the top for the players that were at the top and now are at the center. Yeah, we have Cole with the wiggly capture card, and Hazel with the stable capture card. Can't say the same about their boards necessarily though.
Hazel burning this down right now. No good place for that square, but looks like she's all good, gonna be able to survive this.
All right, and Cole will match her with a hole of his own that has now been uncovered. Hazel on the way to uncovering hers as well. The scores are just about even, 7,000 points separating them. Yeah. All right. Oh, and it seems like we have a guest. Shall we let him introduce himself?
Hi. Okay.
Into the mic. Okay, introduce yourself.
Hello. I'm Weston.
Hi, Weston.
Hi, Weston. Okay, Hazel. Not a very. Oh, hi. Okay, Cole transitions to level 17. Closer. Okay.
Hazel is also into 17 now. Right now, Cole with around an 80,000 point lead. Hazel's still stuck in this dig, so
Hazel
Cole
on bar gets the long
with
bar.
definite pace advantage.
Ooh, nice T-spin.
What a T-spin. It's even harder to time with these strange speed changes that we've got going on here.
Level 19 is looming for these players.
Be a bit faster than normal, so they've really got to be careful, just like Tommy.
I can't scoot in anymore.
Hazel needing the
Hazel
J
into
piece,
level
getting the
19.
J piece.
Hazel gets the 5-tap.
Ooh, sudden transition for Hazel.
Ooh,
She's
Hazel.
able to dig this. Getting the
Hazel
4-tap,
gets- Hazel-
another 4-tap, and the bar all the way over.
Can't do it.
Respectable effort on the faster than normal 19, but Cole already had 150,000 point lead at the time of the top out, and takes the second game and the set.
So if I can interject for a bit, that looked at the very end like a roll that was faster than 30 hertz. That which means that there was a roll that was faster than any person who's played in a CTM match has ever done in a CTM match.
Yeah.
Example. This is what the speed hack allows. Faster speeds means faster rolls.
Yes, and Hazel proving that she can be one of the faster rollers on these speeds. But congratulations to Cole and Weston for winning the first 2 matches.
Congratulations.
Now, let's get the second 2 matches up. So that's going to be Zempro versus Opox and Shadow Knight versus Morlando.
Yes, and okay, if somebody else would like to step in for commentary for this sets, I will be taking over the stream station. Morlando, you in? You want to be in? Oh, you're playing.
I do the 10.
Okay.
Ask Zempro, I guess.
As long as we're in pairs.
As long as we're in pairs.
I'll take anything I need to know.
You know the deal. Work and stream. Transfer money. Yeah, I change my shirt. Oh, wear this.
Yeah.
Actually, put on this.
Alright.
You're good. Well, you know how to do this.
I've seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, what's the order?
Yes. I don't do it in my city. Like, yeah, that's right. Oh,
Oh no!
how's this done? Yeah, a bit wide. Oh, so I was thinking it lost it.
Oh no!
Oh.
Okay, is he still here? Should we get him?
Yeah, you saw it?
Just like.
Yeah.
Knew it like every.
Okay, so I am here with the Yoshi Trio, as some call them, of Hazel, Weston, and Cole, who all managed to play at the same time. So first up, we got Cole. What are your thoughts on the match? How did you feel like you played?
I think I played good. It was nice getting like used to the kind of faster almost speeds, like the 75 hertz. I think Hazel played well, also pushing me to 19.
Yeah, certainly a very valiant effort from the 24 seed. Hazel, what did you think of the faster speeds? Were you able to get used to them at all?
No.
And Weston, is this your first victory at a regional? And if so, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, I lost to Orlando last time. It feels good. I honestly thought I'd lose.
Yeah, it was a very close match. Unfortunately, Shake with some earlier top rest than he would have liked.
Wait, what'd you say?
Very close match. Shake with some earlier top rest liked.
Yeah, I didn't like his early top outs either.
But yeah, we got a couple of sweeps there. Some more best of threes coming up. You can see the players wrong side that way. Yeah, so these. Yes. Hello, Shake, as well. Shake, how did you feel about the counter pick? Did you find it easy to understand? Did it work? What did you think?
Oh yeah, so I really had to pee the whole match, so normally it increases my power, but I think this time it kind of led to my crash out, right? So like the level 17 pick, right? It's the crash out color, but I forgot that I'm actually the king of crash out, so
Classic problem. But yeah, thanks guys for participating. Was lovely to have you on, and good luck to the winners in your next matches.
Hi, Crinkle.
You happen to bring my backpack? That's great.
Oh yeah.
Is the framing better on it? You can go back to that. The framing on a commentator cam. I just moved the camera. It's probably as good as working.
Okay.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, good point. Huh? Yeah, yeah. You go to like the cams. So, oh, I see. How do you adjust prop? Which key? Is that option? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so players almost done warming up, so we are once again getting the bands ready. Shadow Knight warming up on the 360 hertz with what looks like, I'm not sure if it's DAS or roll, but looks like at least partially DAS, which is very hard to control.
It's really interesting to see how fast the pieces drop down when you press soft drop. It's like it's hard drop.
Yeah, exactly. Almost a modern vibe with the pieces just absolutely flying down the board, and the 60 hertz DAS is what it ends up being at 360 hertz because it scales up with the frame rate.
Yeah, except it's impossible, not impossible, but it's very difficult to play this like you would normally play modern because nobody uses 30 hertz DAS delay on or 30 ms DAS delay on modern.
Exactly, that just activates so fast. It's yeah, around 30 milliseconds. So we'll see if the players can get used to it, but if they do end up picking it, I would like to see it at some point, but it is quite the game mode to play on. I tried it myself a little bit, and it's hard not to activate DAS.
Yeah, I imagine most players, if they're on that speed, would just use tap or roll. Although roll might be a little bit less effective because it's hard to get like. Sure, I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem like some people have been able to roll on the 360 hertz. Meme was able to get some decent scores. Transition to level 10 from level 9 start. Level 9 is one like 60 hertz frame for
29.
Yeah, it's essentially normal 29 speed. So getting that with the crazy polling and DAS activating is very impressive. We'll see if she ends up picking it to get an advantage.
Why does Hydra randomly have silver dollars sitting here?
What?
1925. 100-year-old.
Oh yeah. Hydra dude apparently showing off his coin collection.
You guys have fans ready? Okay, so on both sides, we've got the lowest and the highest speed band. You can see behind Zempro the bands for their match, and behind Opox, like just behind his head on his camera, you can see the bands for the Shadow Knight Orlando match. Both sides have banned 30, 360. For Opox and Zempro, we've also got the two closest ones to those extremes, the 36 and 300 hertz.
I find it very interesting that these players are opting to ban the relatively normal-ish speeds rather than the faster ones, because banning 360 doesn't do that much in my opinion, because there's 300 and 240, which are like all very not
60.
they're quite similar.
Okay, so down the bottom, you got a normal match with 19 start in a regional. That's also a change, but should be fun to see. And then, what you got? Rock, paper, scissors.
Hydrant gave me an actual freaking coin.
Oh, no, there's a coin here.
Okay, there's a coin. Hydrant.
Okay, we're flipping a coin to see who picks first.
All right, 48 hertz has been selected for the game on top.
What level?
22.
48 hertz, level 22. So that's about 20% slower than the normal game.
Yeah, so we get to see all of these interesting start levels. So excited to see the 22 colors for, what is it, 200 lines? I don't even know how long the transition is. Maybe it's 150.
It's I think it's 140 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be some weird number. It'll transition at some point. I don't even know if the players know when it's going to transition, but
it doesn't matter anyway because it's still 19 speed.
Exactly.
Afterwards,
I guess we'll see if they do make a transition this game, if the color change will be a factor. But it is slower than normal 19. The DAS will be slower as well, which might be a disadvantage from Orlando because he mostly plays DAS.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I mean, the game is slower by the same rate that DAS is slower. So if anything, if he's not thrown off by the slight difference in game speed, then I'm sure it'll be fine because it's just the same as DAS 19.
Also, thank you to everyone claiming the contribution codes for the Matcherino. So if you type !Matcherino in any chat, I believe, I'm not entirely sure, it'll pull up a place where you can contribute to the prize pool. You can see that down in the corner in the red box in the lower right. So we have 50 codes you can claim just by linking your Twitch account, and those provide 25 cents to the prize pool. So yeah, if there are still codes to be claimed and you haven't yet, would be very appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. 7362. Good?
All ready?
Are you good?
Shadow Orlando, ready? Okay. Let's get them counted down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
All right. We have a normal 19 start game on the bottom and a 20% slower 22 start, which is basically 19 start on top.
Yeah, so already looks like Marlando is getting used to these speeds. Shadow Knight is mostly a roller. Looks like he's still rolling. Transition doesn't... The switchover doesn't seem to be too hard for him. So we'll see if that continues.
Zempro and Morlando getting into a little bit of an early dig, but nothing that I don't think either of these players can survive, although Zempro is getting a little bit high.
Yep. Opok's definitely more known for rolling than Zempro. Zempro, despite being the higher seed, I would say is the underdog, but Opox has had some controller issues recently, so we'll see if both players can get over their recent struggles.
Yeah, Zempro has also had somewhat of an insane improvement arc over the past few months, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him win this match, even though Opox is probably the favorite.
Yeah, Zempro PB'd in qual. Very impressive. His first PB with roll. So.
Oh wait, what was it?
It was a 1.14.
Ooh.
Very good qual. But ended up with the match against Opox. Unfortunate draw. But we'll see if both players can live up to their potential, which I would love to see.
How is it seeded? Because I thought there were some really high seeds, but if this is one of the first matches, then
yeah. So
did they both seed somewhere in the middle, or
yeah, we've got a 24 seed bracket. So Zempro is the 3rd seed, and Opox is the 20th seed.
I Icington.
Yes. Opox ended up just barely squeaking in, qualifying, one of the last people to qualify in general, but he made it into the tournament. I think that was his goal, and now he has the chance to show what he's got.
Yeah, and really that's all that matters. As long as you get to, you know, play some matches. You
And
can
oh
do all
no,
things.
Zempro misdropping a bunch of
Oh.
long bars, and that's going to be a top out. And Opox takes the first game. Up top, Shadow Knight with a definitive pace advantage. Orlando up high. That might be a top out as well, and it is. And Shadow Knight takes the first game there as well.
Some very quick first matches here.
Okay. Down the bottom, we got 72 hearts on another 17 start. We get to see these colors again.
The Nick Gamer colors.
17
I have not remembered it yet. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I've been kind of busy that.
What do you got, Tom? All good? Okay.
Okay, would you like to warm up?
And up top, we've got 100 hertz for level 15. And it looks like everyone is ready. Do you guys want warm up hertz or you start?
Warm up or ready?
Okay, no warm-ups. We're just starting it. So let's get them counted down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
All right, both of these games are on speeds slightly faster than 18.
Yeah, so up top, we've got 100 hertz, which is going to make it significantly faster, maybe a bit harder to control, but we'll see if Morlando is able to work it out.
Opox with an early long dart dependency in the middle, stacking it quite high.
Fills it, makes another dependency though, and this is dangerous for Opox.
Oh,
and this dropped another
really
early
top
top
out.
out. And we are going to our first decider of the regional.
Shadow Knight with the... I thought he was going to go for the dirty Tetris, but he did not.
Playing it
Simply
safe, burning
burning
it
it
down.
down.
Right now, Morlando with the slight pace advantage, and now a clean stack. Shadow Knight is clean as well. Both players are looking for pieces to get Tetris ready. They're both almost there, but playing it safe with these faster speeds than the normal level 15 we would be expecting.
Yep, I mean, these players should be somewhat comfortable on these speeds.
Yeah, we'll see how much the increased dash speed allows Morlando to catch up to Shadow Knight who's rolling, so...
Yeah. What's the highest score we've seen in the bracket, though, this far? Is it like, was it the 440k from earlier, or?
I think it was full score, yeah, so hopefully we can get to see a new high score soon. Looks like we're also getting ready to start down the bottom as well.
Wait, there's level.
Yeah. This format very much still lends itself to relatively low-scoring games since, you know, everything's faster.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
for once it's actually reasonable to have a max out cowbell at a regional for the first time in a while because we might just not see any for a while. Okay.
All right, level 10, 100 hertz start on the bottom.
I mean, this is just warm up.
Oh wait, no, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, still warming up down the bottom, but that's
The
the
speed
settings
that
that
they've
we're gonna
selected.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just level 18 speed with faster polling. So we'll just get to see people go crazy on the rolling. Zempro has definitely been practicing some of the higher input ability rolling in the past. So see if that pays off here.
Yeah. What is this warm-up game?
Yeah, true. But yeah, up top, we are getting somewhat close to the transition to level 16, where it's gonna, I believe, turn into somewhere around normal 19 speed, but not exactly. But right now, Shadow Knight with a 1 Tetris lead, both are around the same lines.
I'm stupid and I can't do math. I'm trying to figure out it's 66% faster than level 18 is normally. So that's way faster than 19. Or
Yeah, very slightly.
yeah.
Okay, you guys ready? Okay, we're ready down the bottom, so let's get our first decider of the tournament underway. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Oh, Morlando and a scary dig, and that's a top out. And Shadow Knight already ahead by a round of Tetris. We almost made it to distance, but not quite. And Shadow Knight takes the match 2-0.
Yep. All right, now we just have this game on the bottom, the first decider of this tournament.
Yeah, so both players starting off relatively clean. I believe that's 2 Tetris is perfect from Zempro, but the numbers are annoying.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have rate stats or anything like that on this either. Enough has been done with this ROM already.
Yes. And Marco SM64 with a $50 contribution to the Matcherino. Thank you so much for contributing to the prize pool. Can we get a round of applause? Yeah, so we're up to $112.44 right now. So hopefully that can keep going up. We like to pay our players as much as they can for making it out here.
Zempro's board getting a little bit high, but, has the pieces to burn it down. Okay, now it's climbing. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
He does get the rollover. He just needs a long bar. He gets
Gets
the long
the
bar.
bar. Looking for
Now he just needs
another
another one. Oh, he gets it, but one piece too late. Doesn't get it over. And now, there goes the first decider of the tournament, going to Opox.
Great match, though. Opox takes it. Close one both ways.
Popping off a little bit.
Got the handshake, got the hug. Zempro is crying. Hopefully it's not real.
Okay, so the stream is going to take a 10-minute break now. So,
Yep, next match is coming up soon. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Yeah, everything up next.
Yeah.
So next, we can do post-game interviews again.
Dude, fucking level 10 is so dramatic.
Oh my god.
My ghost. My ghost. Lucy got 20 in for this. Okay. Okay, we need to. I did not think about this. No, I'm making them right now. It just I'm a bit slow using your screen. Damn it! I said, bro.
I'm on deck, right? I need.
Are we calling that?
I said 10-minute break. Yeah, we're gonna figure out stuff.
Well, that was some talk about that.
Execution.
You're next.
Sign. Okay.
This guy's so scary. I'm just taking the entire battle here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Wait, so strategy is to, okay, so I have these two to look at this group, so group them so that you can be able to see them all at the same time, and the duplicates. Actually, wait, duplicating will be might be the exception. Or copy the reference. Okay.
Yeah, these are all.
If you copy paste the reference, I think.
No, I think it's duplicate. Okay, sure.
It clones everything. And there's
I would prefer to have it. No, I would prefer to have it be represented on the one side, but I don't think that's. Like, if I would prefer like if you turn it off here and turn it off in the other control, but yeah, you know what I mean? So it should be different. I could sub scene it. Yeah. And do what you want. I'm just gonna change out these. Yeah. For the camera, you know. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna encourage people to go. I'm gonna ask a couple of judges, and I'm just gonna encourage the side room. Do stuff there. I would like to swap out with you after that. Swap out with you? Come back and do this? Yeah. Yeah. Just okay. While I'm there, I guess I'll order. All right, we aren't starting quite yet. I'd like to get a bit ahead. First off, we're gonna need 2 new judges. If the same people who went before want to go again, that's perfectly fine. Otherwise, okay. So Weston, one volunteer, and then are you? You do want to take? You're not up next, right?
No.
Okay.
She's not up next, she's up after.
All right. So
you
if
don't
you
want
both
to
come up, I will be instructing you on how this is all gonna work. Yeah.
You like you're the next set of matches after this set. So you have like probably an hour. Like but yeah, if you want to warm up. Actually, yeah, I'd rather warm. Okay.
Okay. So we one. Okay. Also, just a reminder, we have a side room if you want to play matches. We'll have a stream of the events up there as well. All right. So, yeah. Oh, we got the shot. It's the shot. I know. That's what I was saying that. It's the shot. The shot. The Jonas Joseph shot. That was really good.
I think so, because it should be everyone else.
Okay. When this comes out, set you documents. Follow. Confirm. As each player retreats, write these down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or at least everything parts. Could have been people, but I guess like let him know. Yeah, sure, sure. Like you couldn't figure out what that means.
Okay. What time do they have? What time do we have?
Whatever.
Okay.
Like there's still players on so.
Okay. I'm gonna run this after.
Oh yeah, can you also tell Remy like that he did sorry, you're like you're not on the break. Like yeah, you're the here.
I don't think 13.
Hello. You're like, yeah. You're like actually like, yeah. Like you have. You might want to like warm up here. Try to make it visible.
It's essentially right there.
Been actually up. Yes. Yeah. Hey, but you were the second set of matches, by the way. Okay. But we should like get the second set started soon. So. Yeah. Yeah, sure. You're playing RXS, so Lapis, if you want to switch at some point. Do we have like? Does it matter who's where? Yeah. Yeah. And then we need Remy. Okay. Yeah, Remy, you're going to be where is it when she's.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience during the break. That was a good 10 minutes, and now we're back. We got, you got me, AFLM, and the line block. Just ready for these next 4 big rounds of Tetris. That's right. And as we had introduced ourselves at the last New England event, Hartford, we are the Tetris twins. We are brothers, we are twins, and we have been our whole life, so. We thought it was cute. We don't care. Don't care if you guys think it is or not. We think it is. Orlando says he loves us. That's fine. That's all that matters at this point. So, welcome back to this amazing 2 Boston 2 Parity event where we are doing new rule sets. As you can see on the screen at the moment, they're messing with something called speed and level. So you get to ban new speeds and new levels, or choose levels. And so
Yeah. And the hertz are the speed as to which blocks shift. And I was one of the only people who read Fractal's documentation before doing this, and I still have almost no understanding of exactly how it works. So it's going to be quite the journey.
I mean, not only leave it to an MIT kid to build a whole hack for fun, but then also write up documentation for one of the smoothest Tetris events that we have here in New England, right?
Yeah, I know.
So way to go, Fractal. You're killing it, man.
I'm sorry. Cordelia, that might not be visual. You might have to move it over to the right. But that's good enough. If the camera can see it, it's good, and the camera can see it.
As of right now, the judges are figuring out where they can write bans so that you on the stream can also see them, what speeds have been banned.
So the way the bans work is both players who are competing get to ban 2 levels of speed. It can be as low as 30 hertz, I believe, and then all the way up to 360 hertz.
Yep.
So it does not make any sense to ban the 9,000 hertz because you're not playing on it, but wouldn't it be cool if we saw you tap once and it just shoots like through the screen and breaks the game?
Only left or right, center wells only.
Anyway, so we haven't seen anything over 72 hertz, I think it is so far, or whatever it was. But I'm still waiting to see one of the really high velocity hertz.
I pulled up Fractal's chart here as to where the hertz go. So the possible play levels. So we won't see 360 hertz unless somebody's playing at level 0.
Right.
And then with the slower hertz go up as the levels increase. So
there's a bunch of amazing infographics that Fractal put together for this. It's so phenomenal. I'm blown away. Nobody's. So it looks like they're working on some coin flips right now. RXS is picking a speed against Sodium. $80 hertz.
Here we go.
As long as it's
Okay, so RXS was able to choose the hertz, and they chose 80, and Sodium is choosing level 18. So now, as of right now, the players can go ahead and practice on those levels that they have chosen, just so they can get acclimated to it before they get started. They each have 60 seconds to practice on their hertz and level speed.
While they're warming up, can we just talk about for a minute that the fact that there are already, are we matching last year, or are there more people here than last year at this time? I know that later in the afternoon there were more people, but regardless, there's a lot of people here, as you can see from the audience cam, and
that's right.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, so we're ahead of our numbers from last year. So,
which is wonderful, because we were actually slotted to start commentating at 11:45, and it's 11:50 right now. So it's just insane that how smooth this is running.
But I just want to say how many people weathered the weather to get here. I mean,
oh yeah, it is snowing. By the way, it's New England. We're getting snow,
and
the snow, and there's a wind tunnel here.
And the snow is fine. Like, right? The snow is fine, but it's just hard to navigate through weather sometimes. And some people are like, I don't think I'll go anywhere. But people for Tetris, like, they are not going to miss a New England Tetris event because of a little snow.
Can I also just point out that the Matcherino is up to 313?
Where did that
team?
come from?
Yeah, like out of nowhere. I'm so sorry that I missed the.
Text me to like.
We're gonna get the Matcherino up to find out who did what. But wow, 313.
But that's amazing. Yeah, that was a huge leap from what we were just at.
Was that like 112?
Yeah.
But last time that was checked in, that's incredible.
Thank you so much. You're all super generous, and this will help get our competitors paid.
It's in that chat right there.
Yeah, I see it.
The link is not clicked.
Are you able to copy?
Okay, okay. I'm narrating Carbonic's faults like they're my fault, so I'm taking that heat for you, Carbonic. Although I just said it over the stream right now, so now you're at fault again.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, we have Ray who donated 200.
Yeah.
Direct contribution. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ray.
It's the art, both.
And thank you to even the people who use the coupons for just a 25
Yeah,
cent.
the 25 cents. That's
Like,
amazing.
Anything at all works, but the big contributors.
So let's go down. Let's thank Chen and Prague RXS and Ray, Evesy Live, Marco, be cool, yeah, and Judy Martz. Thank you all. This is amazing.
Woo! Some of them are here today.
All right, it looks like practice games might be finishing up.
Yeah, we're picking seeds right now. There we go. Another 25 cents just came in on Matcherino.
Yeah, if we're not on this, we probably did you get roast? I also think they probably practice. Yeah, I think so.
It was just a little bit longer than a minute. That's all right. Little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we're generating seeds and getting ready for our practice games to finish up. And then we're gonna get going in just a second.
Is this it? Everybody ready? Okay, so we're good to go. So it's time for us to count it down, everybody. And in 3, 2, 1, Tetris!
Excellent. All right, so the games are starting out really smooth as everybody seems pretty even at a 0-0. Oh, except we got some push down from Remy. He's getting 11. Who is also Tetris ready. Oh, closed up the well, but we're almost there. See, now everybody's playing, everybody started at level 18, but their hertz are all completely different. So 60 hertz is the average that you would normally play Tetris at. Down at the bottom between RxS and Sodium, we have 80 hertz, which is, the inputs are going to feel a little bit different.
Obviously faster.
Yeah, so insane. We'll have to wait and see how it affects all of them as they do this. Sodium is Tetris ready. And actually, Remy and Crypt are also Tetris ready. Oh, there we go. Get that one in. And another one followed by Remy. Excellent. Sodium gets his Tetris in, where RxS is ready for Tetris as soon as that well is covered. And perfect timing. Amazing.
both a Tetris for Sodium and RX.
I hope everybody is ready. See, I've been trying to lower my sodium intake, but I think I'm gonna have to. Just this once, I will consume a lot of sodium as you go into play.
That was a lame joke.
It was, but
It had to be said. It had to be said. You know, now it's out there. It's out there in the ether.
and just as to point out as well, sodium, as we might remember, was the winner of the last Boston Tea Parity. Now,
Yeah.
but now that we have a different title, it's not the Tea Parity anymore. It's Two Boston, Two Parity.
Yeah.
It's a whole new title you have to win.
Yeah, which
So-
means that it's not even defending a championship. It's gaining a new one.
Yeah, just adding to the titles.
That's right.
So we'll have to wait and see how Sodium does.
Yeah.
And so far, so good, as Sodium is at 220,000 points at line 55, where RXS is at 74 at line 52.
Up on top, Remy and Critical are just about dead even lines. Actually, Remy is ahead by one Tetris, although there's a little bit of cleaning up here to do. We got a line dependency to clean up, but now it's actually shifted over to a left side well.
Sodium gets that center well. You see that? That was crazy. That was great. All right, Remy's going to get that Tetris all the way on the one.
All right, did you see what Sodium just did? That was a pretty big brain. That was like it, you know, a bunch of different shifts that needed to happen there.
Oops, a little bit of a misdrop, but that's okay. We'll just clean it up a little bit.
It's got to be that 80 hertz that is.
Just blame the 80 hertz.
The hertz is hurting.
Yeah,
Hertz is hurting.
Okay. Some pretty clean boards up top with Remy and Critical. Remy gets a Tetris. Excellent. Sodium's still digging down at the bottom. This line will start to clear things up, and all right, now we're burning down. Excellent. Where Remy is now Tetris ready.
And Critical actually took the lead just a couple lines back there. So now Critical is just 2 lines ahead of Remy, but about 2.5 Tetrises ahead in score.
Yeah, so not too much behind, but, you know, a little bit of catching up, but there's a long game to go.
Mm-hmm.
Sodium gets another Tetris.
So does Critical up top.
Yep. Did finally seeing that the whole digging thing was done, back to clean boards.
Yes.
A little bit of a hang from Sodium, but it's way up top, so eventually that will be evened out.
The audience reacting to
audience doesn't seem to agree. But with a little bit of cleaning, beautiful hang clear. That was amazing.
I find it kind of funny because like RXS is playing such a clean game right now that they haven't been on comms with us so much, and of course the commentator curse comes right in at that exact moment. I never wanted to be that guy. But here I am.
Oh, and RXS.
I am so sorry.
Excellent. And so back up top, we have Critical, who is about 50,000 points ahead at the moment. First game down below goes to Sodium. But there's still a lot of game to go for Remy and Critical. All right, and so now Critical is Tetris ready, and Remy gets his Tetris. Both of them get a Tetris. Excellent. Back to back.
Yep.
Remy gets another one following right up. And now we're just back to building. Nothing too extreme going on. Some couple dependencies. Remy closing up as well, but let's see if we can get that all cleared out.
Looks like we're still selecting Hertz down on the bottom, so we'll get back to that game in just a minute.
Yep.
I believe there'll be a practice round. We'll check and see if there's
Yeah,
going to be a
and I
practice
believe they also cannot start on the same level that they started on before.
Correct. Yep, correct.
So it has to be a different level. Okay, so they lowered the hertz to 75. And they're going to... Yeah, can't start on 18 again.
We transitioned up top, by the way.
All right, Critical has a little bit of digging to do to clean that up.
Yeah, but has the lead right now. Exact same amount of lines, and we're about 60,000, so about 3 Tetrises ahead still.
Yeah. All right, so Sodium and RXS are going to do about a minute of practicing down below, so you don't have to worry about that game quite yet. We're going to focus on up top. Remy getting another Tetris.
Yeah,
and
Remy closing the gap.
Closing the gap.
While
Critical is digging.
Yeah, that dig that Critical had to do for a while has really been beneficial to Remy. So this game has been astronomically close.
Almost the whole way.
Yep.
Which is awesome. All right, so now we're just waiting for the boards to become Tetris ready again. Critical is actually is ready. We just need the line block to show up so that we can finish that off. There it is. Get that Tetris. Now Remy has a little bit of digging to do.
Yeah, and smart burning it down while you have the opportunity to do so.
And we're going for a center well.
Yes,
we're going there. It is. Oh well, that was a triple, but
yeah,
still took it. Now we're clean. Now we can go back to the 10 slot well.
Right.
All right. So Remy is Tetris ready. Now Critical is also Tetris ready.
Yeah, Critical win for the setup.
And there got two Tetrises right in a row. Excellent. Tetris for Remy.
And they are tied. They are right now at 193 lines.
What a great game. This is so good.
You were within 1,000 of each other.
Set up again. Remy had to do a burn, but gets a Tetris as a follow-up. Critical has a little bit of setup or burning to do. We'll see what is decided. We're going to burn. All right. And we're just about ready for the games down below.
Yeah, I heard 10-second warning before their game is going to be starting.
All right, Remy has a little bit of digging to do now, and so does Critical. This color is difficult to see, but and Critical tops, and Remy takes that game.
Wow!
All right,
yeah, good match.
Amazing first game. Amazing first game. That was so good. That was so good. What's that? Oh wow. Okay. So Lapis switched to rolling at the end of that match is what we were updated, and I missed that entirely. So that was great. And we got to level 29 through the mullet.
Well, now the thing that's going to be interesting about the game up top is that it's not going to be a typical game of Tetris next, because they have to pick something else completely. So they've got rid of level 18 and they got rid of 60 hertz.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. So.
Okay.
Tetris. And
so the game down below, Sodium and RXS have started their next match.
And so we'll find out what the hertz and level choice will be for Remy and Lapis up top.
Yeah, they will probably have a practice round beforehand, so we'll be focusing mostly on Sodium and RXS for the time being.
Sodium gets an amazing six well Tetris. All right, and Sodium is building up a little bit with a little bit of a center well, but RXS is also digging out.
Wasn't sure if Sodium was going to decide to hang on to that, but missed opportunity with the first Vits of the day. I see there. I saw that. But it's open again. Here we go. First. Oh no!
Missed the Vits. That's all right. It's all right.
I'm disappointed.
But gets
a Tetris. But a Tetris
gets the 9 Tetris. That's good. All right, so they were doing. Remy and Lapis have started their practice game up top.
Can I just say that, like, I feel like the absurdity of the T parity and what it's become known as, I feel like the audience here is also way more into it. It's almost kind of like a free for all where everybody's commentating.
Everybody's commentating a little bit of something.
A little. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Oh, and we are waiting for Anarchy Tetris. That's gonna be an amazing block.
Yeah, if you haven't signed up for Anarchy Tetris yet today and you want to get in on that, you totally should.
So I just want to point out that up above they're doing their practice game, and they chose 30 hertz that starts at level 19. That's gonna be interesting to watch because that's a much slower.
If that's what they're going to do.
I think that's what they chose. That's why they're practicing it for a minute.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that would be the.
Yeah. Some of the games are like faster.
I think that is the most absurd pick of the day so far, if I'm
Right.
not mistaken. Like the most drastic one.
Yeah,
that
we haven't
we've
gone
seen.
so low yet.
Like one game of 30 hertz 19 could take up to.
Okay, so Sodium chooses to burn, to dig down. RXS is building on a center well at the moment. Decides to burn. Okay.
If I heard
Oh, he's good.
Zempro correctly, it was a level 19 game at 30 hertz can take up to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's like the kill stream.
Oh wow.
Is this?
Okay, that was a great
Okay, this is your one.
Tetris from Sodium who got it and followed up by another Tetris with a clean well.
RXS decided to go with the triple to burn down just to get rid of that hole on the left side of the well there.
All right. So Sodium is set up with another Vits. Let's see if Sodium can maybe get that one. All right, RXS still digging out on their side. Burning down. See if we can look over.
And Tetris for Sodium.
Tetris for Sodium.
Okay. We're about to get started up top once we get the seed going.
But we're keeping an eye on RXS as RXS continues to burn, and Sodium, who has about a 70,000 lead, actually probably closer to 80. Sodium on level 5 and RXS on
line 95.
Yeah, sorry, not level. That'd be crazy.
Okay, so they're ready up top. So we're gonna count down the second match for up top. So in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Excellent. And while we were counting down, RXS actually cleaned up the board pretty well. But you did it, and it's amazing. Good job. Okay, so Sodium's board with a little bit of a overhang. Just got to clean that up a little bit before heading into Tetris range. Okay. I'm watching. It's so interesting because I'm watching the level 19 play at 30 hertz, and that's not level 19 play
know, right?
that we're used to. Because look at it, it's almost like it's chugging a little bit.
Yeah,
and
it feels almost like 9 in a way.
I wonder. Yeah, well, because it's 60 hertz is normal, right? So
Yeah.
now we're working at half the speed. So 19 at half the speed. It's 15 speeds. Is that what we're saying? Okay, 15. Weston has said 15 speeds.
Weston also read the document.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm the one that's not the Tetris player here. I'm good at watching and I'm good at doing art for Tetris, but
you're good at guessing too.
I'm terrible at playing.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. All right, we're good. We got other players. We got other audience members here who do not play.
Yeah.
No, really. See, we got a big supportive community here too. So people who
you can come here and you can just guess all you want.
Oh,
You can make
and
that-
RXS is topping out.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful game. Sodium is going to take that round. That's amazing.
So you're going to round 1.
So what do we got? So going on up top, Remy has a little bit of a dig to do, and just to open up that well, where Lapis has to open up that well, but can only take the triple because of the burn of the holes in there. So we have to burn down a little bit more to clean up the board.
Remy is just closed up the well. Was Tetris. Could this be it? Okay, Remy has
popped out, but
there's a couple-
Lapis has to catch up. Tetris. Okay,
That's it right
that's
there.
it. You're good. Lapis takes.
Lapis 6
Amazing, and that was yeah.
So that was round 2. We're going to be going to a decider.
Now, all right, we're in a decider match. Yeah, for Remy and Lapis. So here's the question now: is okay? They did a 60 game. Now they did a 30 game, and now they're going to choose their next Hertz. And I think we've decided on 72.
Yeah, Remy decided 72. Okay.
But what level are we starting at is the question. Just shoot it up all the way to 29. It's 29 start. Do, 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 do. Okay. Are we doing level 15 start?
All right.
Is that the choice? All right.
Are you guys going to practice?
Okay, they're going to
just
do a minute
of practice.
They're going to do a minute of practicing, but we're doing a 72 hertz at level 15.
So let's we have to do some color commentary then if we have a minute of practice.
Yeah. What'd you have in mind?
I have nothing in mind. I'm a terrible combo. What's your favorite
Well,
color?
lapis is a kind of blue, so it's like.
Let's you know what? Let's talk about anarchy for a little bit.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
for people who
we'll
might have
skip
missed the
anarchy.
intro for like what anarchy is going to be later on. So we have anarchy Tetris, which any matchup can be resolved any way that the two components opponents decide upon, which means
Components. They're making components
Right.
for the anarchy match.
The thing that Fractal put in his video explaining the whole process is that you could even win a match just by deciding to do rock paper scissors if you wanted to. So
I want to see some crazy things happening.
I'm hoping that there are multiple people who brought different Tetris systems with them. You know,
We
like
did.
emulators.
Yeah, we brought our little emulators
Maybe.
that have. I would leave it to Morlando to bring Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Some player fun facts on here.
Player fun fact.
Player fun
Thank
fact.
you.
All right.
Okay, let's see where we have.
Oh, there's Lapis right there.
Yep. Okay. So Lapis's qual for this event was 957,000, so nearly a max out. And Remy's qual was 806. Okay. So I believe we are selecting the seed
Yeah, now
for
we're-
the
now we're-
official match.
Now we're setting a seed for the match. All right, and I think we're just about ready. Is it? So are we ready to go? All right, we're gonna count it down again. They're gonna start at 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
So we have our decider match setup of this block.
I also love that Remy is pushing down. Just getting those starter points.
Yeah. You never know. Because we've never done anything like this before. Who knows? It could be like the blind.
This is the meta. This is the meta strat. The meta strat is level 15 start at 72 hertz with push down, and you just win.
That's right.
All right, Lapis is building up and gets the Tetris and followed right up by Remy's Tetris. So we clear out the well on Remy's screen, and Lapis is also Tetris ready. We're just waiting for the L piece to show up. L piece? Line block. I'm just calling it line block. That's your name. That's confusing, but that's what it is.
Actually, it's mostly the eyepiece, but
That's
we grew up in a different generation of Tetris, really. So the names are just different.
Yeah,
So
that's
it didn't-
right.
Where it didn't matter, it wasn't official. And so that's where the line block came from. If anybody's interested, like I grew up, like my great grandmother introduced me to Tetris. You know, and so all the names were just random at the time. So that's where the
it
line
wasn't
block
as
comes from.
official at that point as it is right now.
Right.
But we were all playing Nintendo Tetris.
All right, there was a good spin there from Remy.
All right, and Lapis is looking to clear out that well.
Yeah.
Well is open. Amazing.
Ready.
And gets a
Lapis
Tetris.
gets the Tetris, and
And
so does Remy.
Followed right up by Remy's Tetris.
With
This
some
is awesome.
burns too.
Very good burns.
Even lines, but Remy has just a little bit over a Tetris lead.
So now we're just building those back up so that they can both be Tetris ready once more. Got a little bit of building to do. Got some funny blocks coming in, but Lapis finds their Tetris.
And Remy is just waiting on the...
There it is.
There it is.
Got it.
With the perfect tuck to be set up again.
That was awesome. Followed by another Tetris and another Tetris from Lapis. Though Remy is still 50,000 points ahead. And both pretty close in lines.
About 30-ish thousand now that they're even in lines again.
Yeah, now there was a follow-up Tetris right after I said that, but you know, it was fine. Make a fool out of me, game. All right.
He's good. Yep, dirty Tetris.
Lapis gets that dirty Tetris up high, and now
With
cleans out
Dawn
for-
too, I think I saw. So, you know, it's just like, yeah, it's whatever, you know. Just a dirty Tetris.
No big deal.
So just want to point out for this one that they are at 72 hertz, which is a fairly common range. It's a middle range speed. So this is feeling a little bit different than what they're used to at level 15.
Well, especially at level 15.
Yeah, level 15, I suppose you're right, is supposed to be a little bit slower, but you know, it's still a range where they're comfortable at playing.
I mean, look, I can't even play level 15, so...
This is almost kind of in the nature of if you were playing PAL Tetris.
Oh, interesting. So they're both Tetris ready. We're just waiting. So Remy gets that Tetris, and there's Lapis's Tetris. Okay, we were waiting for a little bit, but not too much of a wait, but still scrambled enough to get it high enough. No, Lapis didn't like that drop, but
yeah, it got the line bar for...
Gets the line bar to fill that up.
Look at that! Oh my gosh! So that was like an insane amount of line blocks that just came into play there. All right, Lapis got another Tetris to kind of almost closer to evening it up, but still a little bit.
Yeah, a
high.
couple Tetrises away. But but it can easily switch at any point.
Yeah,
especially at level 15 start.
I mean, I feel like that this might be one of the most evenly matched games that we've seen.
Yeah,
today, even. Lapis even gonna get the Tetris right there.
That was awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Now just got to clear out that well, and then it'll be good to go. There it is. Oh, what a perfect timing to clear that well. Amazing play. But still fairly even. Not too many Tetrises apart from one another. And not too many lines apart from each other as well. They're pretty close as far as this goes.
Yeah, we maintained that 30,000 point lead for the entirety of this game.
Yep.
So, so Remy is still ahead by that much.
So Remy just had to burn because the well was closed up, followed up by another Tetris as they both transitioned into
level 16.
Level 16.
Yep.
So now, Lapis has a little bit of burning to do with that hole in the middle, and Remy just has to build up to be Tetris ready. There's the Tetris. Amazing. Okay, Lapis can just clear out that hole, and then
yep,
Tetris ready once again. Amazing dig.
Yep, reward with the Tetris too.
That's
We're
awesome.
Now, both transition back into level 18.
Hey,
so.
for our familiar level that everybody knows,
right?
but it's moving a little bit faster than we're normally used to. So, and Remy goes right into level 19. Because we have to remember that we're not waiting, 125
yeah,
levels to get to 19 anymore. So we skipped right over 18. So now this game is zooming. And with Lapis being Tetris ready, waiting for the long bar. There it is. Remy had to do a little bit of a dig.
I also wanted to point out too that I think I can't tell if Remy is tapping or using dash. I think tapping though for these speeds.
But if you look at the scores are pretty well even, but but Lapis has pulled ahead just slightly.
Yeah. Lapis is rolling now, so little bit advantage at these top speeds. And there was that hang.
Yeah, so now
on
there's a
Remy's
little bit of a
part.
dig that has to happen. For both of them. They're both digging right now. Oh,
And I
and Remy
think-
throws his head back and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Lapis takes it.
Lapis it. All
Good
right.
match. That
Good
was
match, this guy.
Incredible match block.
They were so even that whole time. That was awesome to watch, especially with the weird hurts and the weird levels. Like, it's so cool to see. Oh yeah, dude, props to Remy. That was incredible. But congratulations to Lapis for taking that. So out of those two matches, Lapis and Sodium will be moving on. But great games to RXS and Remy.
Yeah,
they
I agree.
amazing players. It was so fun to watch. I mean, especially for somebody like me who watches any of these people play, and I'm just like, how do they even do that? It's crazy. I just can't. I can't fathom because I'm horrible. I can't even play level 1. I have my little emulator Game Boy Tetris, and I'm playing it, and it's like, why is it so hard? Like, I don't get it.
I this year have gotten my new PB, which is only like in the 425,000 area. So, I'm not pro Tetris level or anything like that, but I do play level 18, and I'm a DAS player. So, but I think that's just because I'm a little old school. What can I say? I'm just not ready. I've been playing video games since we were 3 years old.
Well, I mean, you were inspired by Jonas too. Show him the Jonas shirt.
Oh yeah,
right on stream.
Right, I'm wearing my my Jonas New Barrel Cup shirt today.
Yeah.
I did not go.
And I'm wearing my Power Wolf shirt today, which means nothing unless you're a power metal fan, which I am. So.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I did not go. I have not been to a Portland, Oregon event, but I always get the shirts every year.
Yeah,
every year.
They're awesome shirts. So if you have a chance to watch during the CTWC times and pick up any of the amazing high quality merch that they have, it's so cool. I mean, we have a bunch of CTWC shirts just floating around in the audience today. And so if you spot them, they look so nice. You have one, right?
Yeah. Yep, I got one from this year.
There's Fractal,
Yeah,
right
Fractal's
there.
back.
The host with the most is back.
You got to point over your other shoulder like this. Other way.
How do I do that?
Other way.
Okay,
There you go.
Right. No, I guess the camera angles aren't helping me out today. That's fine.
Yeah, but the organizer of the event is now going to be on the judging station, which is a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Got to judge your own event. Be a judge. Okay. So here are our next players for this block. These are our next two games. We have Mari versus Aaron and Ava versus Cobra. So we're looking at, this is going to be an interesting, because we've seen Aaron win.
Yep. In Connecticut.
Yeah, a few times in Connecticut. And so I'm very interested to see how this goes with the new rule set of hurts and level starts.
Yeah.
Right. So we got a couple practice games going on. I don't know if we've actually chosen. Are these the chosen hurts? No, just practice. Okay, so we haven't chosen anything yet, but we will.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so 16.
Interesting.
17,
Okay. So Aaron is getting rid of the common factor.
Yes.
And then Mari is getting rid of the most extreme.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's going to be an odd match no matter what.
There's the rock, paper, scissors to see who chooses what.
Chooses the level first. First loss of the game.
36 speed. Okay, Aaron.
So Aaron said 36 hertz.
And
on
on
level 25.
level 25 start.
That's an insane pick right off the bat. We're gonna get something we've never seen.
Okay, so they're gonna have 1 minute to practice that. Okay, so we have 1 minute to practice the level 36 hertz on level yeah 36 hertz on level 25. Which take a look at what it's doing right now. Like you can see on Aaron's screen how it's playing.
It's moving.
Yeah. If most people don't know, but if you start on level 25, it should be dropping instantly, right?
Yeah. Pretty quick. It's the same speed that's towards the end game. Most games typically go till level 29, so that would be matching the same speed before level 29 end game. Old kill screen.
But at this level of play, that's not even close to being the kill screen anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They just play it. Rollers just play it. It's fine.
Now, the reason why this was picked, I believe, is because Aaron is using tapping, using hyper tapping. So this is the lower hertz is more advantageous for tapping.
That's so interesting to think about, right?
Yeah, how there's a strategy based on the kind of player you are.
Yeah.
Like I, as a DAS player, would not be able. I don't think I'd be able to do this very well at all because it would just move so slow.
I can't even imagine like somebody like me playing like that, where I don't even know like the basics. This is bad for me because I don't know the basics of, or I haven't mastered the basics. I know the basics, but oh, are we getting ready to start? All right. We'll enter seed and then we'll count it down. So let's get ready. Everybody prepare for this.
So
hardcore.
If I'm not mistaken, Ava and Cobra down below.
All right. Ready?
Ready? Okay.
All right, we're gonna count it down.
Ready for our next block. Ready? Here we go.
Ready? Count in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I had to slow it down just a tiny bit because I saw that Aaron was moving a tray table while we were counting. So. All right. Fractal's using it to his advantage.
Yeah.
To that, we got a little bit of darkness.
Is it somebody like on a light switch? I don't know what's happening here now.
All right, so
it's the 2 Boston 2 parity. You never know what's gonna happen.
Okay, so Mari has a little bit of digging to do already right at the start.
I think it's
and just starts
so
with the top out.
Mari starts with the top out. Barely even got off the ground there, so the heart goes to Aaron right off the bat.
The words that Mari just said was, "I don't think I like that level start," which was Mari's choice. So
no, I don't. I think it was Aaron's.
No, it was Mari's choice of 25.
Okay. So let's focus down below for a little bit then.
Yep. So down below we have Ava versus Cobra. They're still pretty close in points and lines.
Yep.
But Ava is just a little bit ahead.
Yep.
But is doing a little bit of burning.
Further back in lines ahead in score. So a true lead at the moment. Cobra is Tetris ready, scoring the Tetris. And Ava strikes back with the Tetris.
Yeah, and Cobra opens up as well just in time. So up above, we're going to have another practice minute for them to start on their new, which they're doing.
Understandable.
75 hertz for 15 at 15, level 15. So let's focus on down below.
Which Cobra just got a Tetris.
Yeah, Ava's going to have to do a little bit of digging, just to burn those down in order to be Tetris ready. And they're opened up, so should be perfectly fine. Just got to open up that well, and there we go. Tetris ready. Now we're just waiting for
both are Tetris ready at the moment.
Oh, perfect timings for both of them. Some really Smooth playing. So they are playing at 60 hertz at level 19, which means that this is a typical level 19 play.
Correct.
But they started at level 19.
Yeah.
So they started a little bit ahead. So they're going to be on level 19 for quite a while.
Nowadays, you see a lot of level 19 starts. It's a little bit more common place nowadays because of rolling and
Just the level of play in general.
Right,
How
exactly.
The high levels of play that everybody is playing at.
yeah. So this could go the distance. Okay, it looks like we're doing seed select at the top, so that game will get going pretty soon.
Just a minute. Yeah. Where Ava's back to doing a little bit of digging, possibly building out. They're getting the Turdy Detris.
Turdy Detris?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Well, I'm gonna keep saying that then. Just gotta own it.
Yeah, Ava is a little bit in trouble.
Ava's building a little high.
And
Ava
Ava
tops out.
So Cobra takes the first match down below.
You saw those fireworks,
I did
right?
see the fireworks. We can't just let that pass by.
Yeah, perfect timing, right? Happy New Year, everybody.
Are we ready? Okay. Next game started
For
up
Aaron
top.
Murray.
Aaron Murray.
So let's see if they both get a little bit of a better hang of starting on this weird one. That was a wonderful. Did you see that long bar spin?
Yep.
That Murray. That was. Okay, so down below they're discussing the hertz, and they had 90 hertz
Starting at level 18.
starting at level 18.
But up top, we have a neck and neck match.
It is as close as you can be without being exact. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. All right, we got 1 minute practice down below.
Yep,
so
they
we're
started
gonna be focusing
practicing.
on the top one match for now,
Tetris for Aaron.
and Tetris for Mari.
Follow up with Tetris by Mari. All right.
It's because they're so close in lines. There haven't been too many burns, or they've been an equal amount of burns to the point where they're at the same piece set.
Which for now, Mari's just a little bit ahead, but Aaron is Tetris ready, where Mari has to do a little bit of burning.
It will actually put Aaron ahead just
Yeah.
a little bit after that Tetris. 1 line behind, but ahead in score. So that burning did shift the flow of battle.
Yeah.
If you might, as you might say.
Yeah, and so now Aaron has gotten quite a few Tetrises ahead and building back. So Aaron is now at line 37, Mari at line 33, and about 56,000 points ahead. Also, we'll call it 50,000 points ahead. Mari can go for this dirty Tetris though. If that long bar shows up just in time.
Yep, still
there it is.
Good, dirty Tetris.
Excellent, dirty Tetris.
Center well Tetris. How exciting!
If Aaron can just clear off that well.
Looks like Mari is going to continue. Well, yeah, could continue still with if it gets cleaned up in time.
Yep, there it is.
Wow. Okay. And look at that, another.
So bottom game is ready to go. So we're just going to count that down real quick in 3, 2, 1. Tetris.
Okay, good looking out.
So Mari has cleaned up the board. So we're good to go. And now Aaron has to open up the well again.
Just do a little bit of digging, but not too bad.
But the scores are looking pretty. The scores are looking pretty solid.
Yeah.
So down below, both of them have to do a little bit of digging on their boards.
Yeah.
It's a little bit dirty, but
I know. I heard the commentary. Otherwise, are you giving up already?
So the 90 hertz is so we have to think that they're playing at a semi level 19 start almost.
You're right. Something akin to it.
Yeah. it probably is messing up their flow as far as how funny it's got to feel doing it.
Oh, for sure. 1 minute of practice cannot be enough time to figure out.
Yeah, to get used to the feel.
There was a misshift on Ava's part right there, probably because of that very reason.
Up top, Aaron and Mari both have back-to-back Tetrises, with Aaron still ahead just a bit. Pretty close in lines, 81 and 85, but there's plenty of time to catch up. Where down below, we still have a lot of digging going on. A lot of burns, a lot of digs.
So Cobra and Ava have cleaned up both boards.
Now they're both
Tetris ready, just waiting for the line block. Up above, there's a little bit of cleaning on Aaron's part, but going for the the second column.
Yeah.
Second row.
Yeah, columns are the long ones. I know. This is me thinking on my feet. Oh, and Ava tops out, giving the games to Cobra. Good job, Cobra. Moving on.
Good games on both parts.
Very good. Those hurts are difficult.
Interesting picks.
Really interesting picks for your hurts.
Being brave about the hurts picks is really what this event's special. So
yeah, it's wild, but we're having a good time. It's fun seeing the mix up. Okay, so back to Mari and Aaron.
Mari just gets a Tetris with that board right there.
They're practically tied again if you look at the scores. Mari a little bit behind in lines as well, so
yeah, so a little bit of an advantage, I would say, for Mari.
Yeah, just a slight. It's not a real advantage. Nope. They have a long way to go. Mari not really too happy with that. I saw the head shake. See the head shake.
That classic Tetris head shake.
Yeah, and so there's a little bit of burning, a little bit of digging. Whoa, what a getting that long bar in there was incredible. That was pretty good. Still getting the Tetris too, above the burns. But now there's a lot of digging and burning that has to be done. Oh,
the shift in hurts and levels.
All right, Aaron just needs a little bit of a chase. It's not over. It's not over. It's
one more line was.
Is that it? That's it.
That was it.
I think that's it.
That's it.
And Aaron takes it. Aaron takes both games. Amazing from both of them. This is so dang fun. Like there's so many good games that are happening today. It is just so amazing to watch what the heck is going on. Yeah,
the idea that the players don't know what's going to happen.
Because you'll notice at the beginning of the matches, a lot of them are having a hard time deciding. They're just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what I want to play at.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I guess I'm just gonna play at level 25. All right.
Fantastic
play from both Mari and Aaron. Excellent.
Go for 10-minute break.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, we're gonna have a 10-minute break.
We're gonna have a 10-minute break.
These blocks. I'm on my knees begging and pleading that.
Oh yeah. One more thing.
Yeah. This is
round one, best of 5.
Round 1, best of 5. Are we going too fast? Is that what's happening? We need to make up some time.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That's amazing.
I think we should.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, chat. Beg Fractal to let us come back on as commentators for Anarchy Tetris. Right here. All right. We'll see you all later. 10-minute break.
Later.
All right. It's time to make an announcement. If you are a competitor, have Domino's Pizza coming, hopefully within like 20 minutes. Alright. We should not have food in here, so we will be taking the dining hall outside. Outside of this building, in the cafe, inside the status center, still not in the snow. Alright, we'll be coming back in 10 minutes for round 1. I do not have the matches on me right now.
Meme, Weston, Hydrant, Cole.
Meme, Weston, Hydrant, and Cole. So I assume that they are inside preparing.
Right there.